Welcome to another California Guy video with your boy California Guy. What's up, everybody, and welcome to this all new video. This video will be entitled Why Black People Should Pay Attention to What Donald Trump is Doing. Now, as of late, I've been checking out the news and following the news about Donald Trump and the immigration that's been taking place over the last week. Well, actually, I've been paying attention to it for a couple of months now. And Donald Trump has today, evidently people know the news that he signed a bill stating that that Hispanic kids will be able to be reunited with their parents. Now, the kids have been placed in camps and separated from their mothers and dads. And the kids have been disabled kids, babies, teenagers, junior high kids. These are the sons of illegal immigrants. And they were, I guess, caught crossing the border. The white media and Donald Trump have made up lies, and some blacks, that Hispanics are gang members, MS-13 and cartels and all that bullshit there. So it's basically been that back and forth. But Trump eventually caved in because there was an outcry in the United States about these kids on American soil being in cages. Now, you've had African Americans over the last social media. African Americans, some does not have no compassion for kids. They have said that this is not our problem. Fuck the kids. You've been hearing a lot of really disturbing things coming from black people about these kids, because they've said that Hispanics don't hold black people down. They say it's no black and brown coalition. They're saying, what about our babies? And our babies get killed. But here's where you have a difference at. You don't have the United States government taking your kids and placing them in these camps. Now, if black kids were being placed in camps across the United States, it would be a huge outcry, and black people would not be able to get the kids out on their own. Guess what? Black people would need somebody to help them to get their kids out of these camps. End of story. But you got African Americans who are trying to, I guess, emulate white supremacists by saying, no, it's not my problem. They're making fun of these kids. They're saying disturbing things. And beware, black people. Whatever Donald Trump does to the Hispanic kids, that's what he's going to do to black people. Just think about that. If he's taken of experimenting with minorities, to be honest with you, Donald Trump is the greatest threat to democracy in the United States. He's a threat to almost every group that's minority, from black to Latino to Asian to women to gay, LGBT to black women to anybody in the United States. Trump is pro-business, pro-corporation, pro-white, pro-white man, in fact, and he has no group in his agenda. So whatever he does to the other groups, it harms black people at the end of the day. So if we start to say, now we could deal with the Latinos when Trump is gone. We could deal with that and say, you could do what you do when it comes to Latinos. But in the meantime, Trump is a single threat. Don't be fooled by Donald Trump. Don't be fooled by people who are rich, by the way, and got more money in the top 1%, who is telling you not to pay attention to this because our babies are in trouble. In fact, people keep talking about black kids. Black people make choices. Black kids make choices. It's not people's fault that black people have babies when they're not supposed to have babies. It's not black people's fault. It's not society's fault that black people sometimes don't want it. They get on crack and they don't take care of their children properly, and their kids be placed in foster care. That's our choice. It's the difference between the illegal immigrants and black kids in America. Black kids are not being placed inside of cages. That is nonsense coming from African American people, and not all of them, but pro-blacks. And you got these pro pro-blacks that are trying to shame African Americans into being compassionate about kids and the plight of other people and what they're going to. You got them saying that they're wearing capes. You got them saying that, they're coons. They're making fun of old civil rights leaders. They're calling them old niggas. People like John Lewis. They're making fun of this many, many things. They're actually opening the door for white individuals to make fun of these very same people that are respected, like John Lewis. John Lewis is a respected civil rights leader, but yet you have African American podcasters and YouTubers poking fun of this man whose face was beaten in by the police and white people in the 1960s. None of these Negroes that's on YouTube and on radio would take the risk that John Lewis have taken. These are facts. They're busy in their mansions, or they're busy on YouTube in their kitchens and different places like that, in their living rooms, and they're relaxed, and they're not going to get out there and do any activism. But yet they're mocking people like John Lewis and the civil rights movement by calling them old Negroes. These are Negroes who, if it wasn't for these civil rights, and I don't agree with a lot of stuff that some of the that John Lewis say either,